Hello, hello, everybody. It's been a minute. Adrian from over here at Pipe Dream Hookah. It's literally been a month. I don't know what I've been doing. Oh yeah, I know what I've been doing. Backlogging videos. These reviews on a brand that I haven't talked about even a little bit on this channel. They're called Zumerret, and good guys over at Zumerret. I actually have somewhat of a working relationship with these guys. I'm not going to go into detail right now. What I will say is this stuff was provided for review, so keep that in mind. That said, if I think one of their flavors are trash, I'm going to call them trash. I let the guys know prior to receiving these flavors that would be the case, so there you go. As usual, we're going to be rating these flavors based on the cloud, scent, and flavor of the tobacco, as usual, and a little tiny update-esque thing. We used to, way back in the days, old days of Pipe Dream Hookah, the reviews used to be like 14 minutes long because we'd go into the cut of the tobacco and everything. And since the cut of a tobacco, as long as it's within the same line of a brand, it's going to be pretty consistent, as is going to be the texture and the packaging and all that type of stuff. So there's going to be packing tutorials on flavors that I review from here on out, and those packing tutorials are going to include the whatever line that I'm packing, all of those attributes. So look forward to that, because pretty soon you're going to have the Zumerret packing tutorial after a couple of videos from other brands that you guys may or may not be hopefully excited to hear about. Anyway, bunch of upkeep stuff. It's like 4 minutes into this video. Let's talk about Zumerret. Before I get into the scent, flavor, or clouds of this tobacco, the first thing I have to talk about is this packaging, which I think is absolute trash. I've talked about this before. These bags, when tobacco companies ship you stuff in bags, it's like you're gonna get your fingers really dirty trying to dig it out of the bag. They don't store well, and most of us just transfer them to some type of, actual container that you can manipulate and use and store properly. They are gonna get style points though. Unlike brands like Azur and Fumari, they include a little bag, kind of like Hooked on Hookah, within this bag, and you'll notice that there's no goo or anything in here at all. It's all good to go. So that's nice, because that means that you don't have to mess around with that. It's kind of got a zip lock deal on the top, and it can be really hard to get all the tobacco out. So points for that. But if you're listening, I know how difficult it is to change product packaging, but that's one thing that I know I'm not the only person who's hey, please stop putting our tobacco in lunch bags, little sandwich lunch baggies. Onto the tobacco. Let's talk about the scent. Open it right up. This is 24 karat. That name probably doesn't tell you anything about the flavor, and it doesn't. Okay, this is not the first flavor of this archetype on the market. This is going to be a peppermint for sure. The first thing I smell when I smell this tobacco is a peppermint. It took me a minute to figure out whether it was just regular mint leaf or peppermint, but then I compared it to some peppermint flavors and really got a better idea. This smells a little bit like Peppermint Shake by Trifecta, and that's not a bad thing. I actually think that's a good thing. One thing that I will make a note of is this smells significantly less creamy or shaky or whatever that insert vanilla-esque cream note here, like Haze Whattermint, whatever you want to use. That seems to be dimmed down in the scent, but what you're smelling is kind of a peppermint with a light cream tone on the background. So there's the scent. Let's go ahead, and before we get into the clouds and flavor, what are we smoking on? Surprise, surprise everybody, it's the matte pear. White matte pear, matching hose Neolugs base, needs to be washed. And on top we have a alpaca, Generation 1 Apache bowl with 3 Cocoa Earth cubes on top. Why Cocoa Earth? My local shop just started carrying them, and they're 10 bucks a kilo. Anyway, let's go ahead and see if this stuff can produce the puffy clouds. Zumerret, they're a modern brand. It should come as no surprise that their tobacco includes, I shouldn't have destroyed the packaging. If I had to guess, I'd say honey. Let's take a look. It's either honey or molasses. Tobacco, honey, glycerin. It's a honey-based tobacco. They're using honey and glycerin, and if they're using that and they're not putting something else in there that shouldn't be in there, it's probably going to produce clouds if you know what you're doing with the heat up top. That said, let's move into the flavor profile. On Pipe Dream Hookah, we like to do that on the inhale and the exhale. Why? Because it gives you, the viewer, a better idea of what the flavor is going to be like on both the inhale and exhale. Is that too much information? Probably. Do any of you care? Most likely not. Am I going to continue to do this for every video review for the foreseeable future? Absolutely. Inhale. Okay, inhale. Peppermint. Strong peppermint flavor coats the entire palate, and there's a nice cooling effect. I wouldn't say this is a super mint or anything, and you shouldn't expect it to be a super mint, because people who smoke super mints on their own, not in the context of a mix, are absolute deviants, and they need to be stopped. Nice and cool, peppermint flavor. There's a little bit of creaminess, but not so much on the inhale. What they like to say, maybe this is a precursor, maybe I'm saying this too soon, but that creaminess, those like texture notes tend to come more on the exhale, kind of on the back of your tongue, and the roof of your mouth. You can really feel it if you pay attention. Now that you know what it tastes like on the inhale and I've explained half of the exhale, let's move on to the exhale. I already said it, you guys already know. Peppermint on the inhale, a little bit of creaminess. On the exhale, little flip-flop. You're getting a lot of coolness still. The mint is still prevalent, it's in there, but that creaminess saturates pretty much all of the palate that we have as humans inside of our mouths, and it's delicious. The creaminess, for the most part, is an undertone. It's kind of weird. Like when I say that it comes out, I don't mean it dominates the flavor, it's almost a feeling. But this is very peppermint shake-esque to me. Tastes a lot like Trifecta's peppermint shake with its own flavor. It's definitely unique. I have both in my rotation. I plan to pick up more 24 karat for personal use because my trash friends at my house don't know how to pack anything but really basic blondes, and they keep wasting my Tangiers. So I'm gonna keep this stuff on stock so they can smoke this and then my peppermint shake, and then I'll save my Tangiers for me because they can't handle it anyway. This stuff is awesome. I actually really like their take on the peppermint. And I don't know if the cream's intentional. I don't really taste any like cream flavor, if that makes any sense. It's mostly a sensation. It's very pepperminty. It's good. A few other things before we go into rating this flavor like we always do on the 7 scale, because people use out of 5, they use out of 3, and they use out of 10. We use out of 7 because we are the contrarians here at Pipe Dream Hookah. But how well does peppermint shake take heat? Well, I'm gonna go off and just tell you that peppermint shake takes heat as well as every single other Zumerret Gold flavor, which is fairly well. Don't overheat it. These 3 cubes I have on top of this medium-sized funnel are hanging off the side just ever so slightly, and it is burning at the higher end of the spectrum of what I would consider the safe zone for this to be burning at. It's definitely warm, and if one of my buddies was smoking, they probably had the coals pulled back just a little bit more. Takes heat well. Don't try to like super cook it like you would with like old batches of Ugly or anything like that, because it's not going to handle the heat like those batches used to. And then how long does it burn for? This stuff has actually impressed me quite a bit. Mints tend to last a little bit longer than most like fruit flavors for me, in my experience anyway. A good 70 minutes, I would say, before the actual flavor of the mint, the peppermint flavor, and any of the creamy notes start to die down. And then you probably can push it to about 90 minutes or like 1 round of cubes before your session should be over. And then buzz, it's a blonde leaf tobacco, it's washed, there's no buzz. Anything else? No. Let's rate this stuff on the scale out of 7. For Zumerret 24 karat, I'm gonna go ahead and give this stuff a solid, honestly, a solid like 6 out of 7. It's not perfect. There's a lot of, again, to get a 7 out of 7 on this channel, it's gotta hit all of my biasms as well. For some people, I could see this being a 7 out of 7, but the flavor profile is absolutely outstanding. Very pepperminty, pretty creamy, very nice. It's summer here in Michigan right now, so it's cool. It does everything I need it to. It behaves very well in a mix. You want to have something delicious? Grab yourself your favorite lemon flavor, mix this in for like a lemon meringue pie type of a flavor. That's pretty good. And it's going to be cold too. So like there's mint leaves in your lemon meringue pie. That's going to do it for this video. Look forward to a bunch more videos. That's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, happy smoking.